Peace, peace, peace. Salute to the chat. Knicks family was popping. I think the Queen will be here shortly. Welcome back to Knicks and Bruises. Your Blackest Time. Had to take a little break from social media and the internet and everything else and catch up on some work, some family stuff. But definitely a pleasure to be back. I'm gonna do something a little bit different real quick. I'm gonna let you guys introduce yourselves. I'm gonna start with Hartwell and work your way around and with Freezy. I gotta step out real quick and take care of something real quick. But go ahead and introduce yourselves and I'll be right back.
What's good? What's good? Salute to the chat. It's your boy Hartwell from For the Love of the Game with the number 4. For you all, the love of the game. If you don't already know, hit the subscribe button.
What's good, chat? This is the Delusional One, owner of the Knick Fan Network. Definitely tune in, subscribe, support Knick fans.
All right. And y'all know what it is. It's the number one Chief Rock in Knicks universe. Your main man, Uncle Freezy, blowing tears, vibes and stuff, all messed up. Y'all know what it is. Follow your man. Check out your man on social media at Big Freezy. Rocking the spot right now. It's just good to be on with Tone and you guys. Knicks and Bruises. It's been a minute, man. How y'all doing?
Good, Freeze. You already know.
Glad good, to be man. Here. Glad Yo, sometimes the conversation backstage be like better than the conversation on the mic.
You know, we was talking backstage. Earlier conversation was fire too. So
yeah.
Continue that.
Yeah, sure. I don't know if we should let the cat out the bag or what, man. But yo, I jump in and I'm like, yo, what I miss? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, like yo, what I miss? And I want to get here a little bit earlier, man. But I'm like, well, I ain't want to,
You ain't miss really nothing.
Well, you know how I used to, y'all chopping it up about my mans. So I was like,
who?
RJ.
Oh, nah, we wasn't. No, it was a point we was from earlier. I was making with Tony, just in reference to how we brought up the number part. How when you look at other players early in their careers, like what you did earlier, and he was saying like it could be a difference, but I was like in reference to the upside if he's getting an opportunity early. Them players like Jimmy Butler, for instance, he didn't get that same opportunity. So just with the opportunity can help you be a decent player.
Right. Now, Jimmy Butler didn't deserve the opportunity early, though. He was trash.
Yeah, or the team. It's the opportunity and the team that you have. But that was just what we was talking about. It wasn't nothing really bad about RJ. RJ's my guy.
Well, this is where it started from. I was talking about what is his name? Barnes?
Scotty Barnes?
Scotty Barnes.
Yeah.
And his comments prior to the game. And him looking forward to, facing up against RJ, this and that. And then thinking about 2 years ago with now I'm drawing a blank. The guy on Minnesota.
Anthony
Edwards. His comments about RJ. Oh, he's the guy that we wanted to take the shot and like because RJ missed a game winner. So my questions, Peace Queen, my question was, what do you think the perception of RJ is to his peers, from his peers? Because, this is the second time a young guy, actually a younger guy, is coming out vocally and, not having some kind words, if you will, about RJ. And it just kind of took me by surprise.
Man, can I please go first, Tone? Can I please go first?
I wonder what these younger guys in particular. We heard Butler speak kindly of him.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. He's the future of the Knicks, but the younger guys seem to be not so quick to give him compliments. But yeah, go ahead. The floor is yours. And Peace Queen, salute.
A peace to the Queen. Peace to everybody on the panel. Peace to the chat. Salute to everybody. I hope everybody is, a reasonable portion of health and strength, man. Everything going good with them. But, yo, if you Scotty Barnes, you mad jelly, bro. Cause, yo, I watched the Toronto broadcast, man. Did you know at the beginning of the Toronto broadcast, they featured RJ Barrett? and Scotty Barnes is the future of Raptors basketball? RJ Barrett is Mr. Canada, bro. And Scotty Barnes is like, how y'all showing, in my mind, I think this dude is like, how y'all showing this dude so much love, and he don't even play here. You know what I'm saying? But they featured RJ. The dude Routins couldn't keep RJ name out of his mouth, bro. He was so, they be like so complimentary of RJ. Every time we play the Raptors, y'all see Team Canada stuff. Every time the Raptors and the Knicks play. And so if I'm Scotty Barnes, who ain't never accomplished nothing, I'm just a dude with high upside and thinking this might be my team, even though it's not, I might have something to say about RJ too. And he said, matter of fact, told Grimes to his face that he told Grimes that he not him. Repeated over and over, over and over. You know what I'm saying? So if you Scotty Barnes and you got something to prove in this league, and when RJ Barrett come to town, that's all he do is talk about RJ, bro. It's not just that, because when I was in Charlotte, man, at the Charlotte game, man, the Charlotte fans, everything was, man, listen, they announced Kemba Walker. Everybody was like, this is when Kemba was a Knick coming back to Charlotte, right? They said RJ Barrett name, man, the crowd went crazy at Spectrum Center.
So let's not get it twisted, though. RJ is the golden child amongst Knicks fans.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, warranted or not.
Yeah,
like the reception or the perception of RJ, I would say, is probably 70-30, maybe 80-20, where the fan base loves RJ.
Okay,
and so that doesn't. That's why I think it's. I'm looking at the opposing team or the opposing players or
right.
His peers. But you make a good point about him. How about 2 years ago with dude in Minnesota?
With Anthony Edwards. He another dude, bro. I was asking y'all earlier. You ever been to Minneapolis, Minnesota, bro? If I played in Minneapolis, bro, I even though you rich, I mean, what they, no disrespect to Minnesota, but like right now, this time of year, it's freezing up there, bro. Ain't nobody going to see and RJ is in New York, man, and it's like this major media market, and you know what I'm saying, RJ got everything you want in order to become the face of the NBA or a star, part of that conversation. Except the game will catch up, right? But these young players, they looking at RJ's situation. I think they're looking at his situation and not the player. Like, what would I be in New York if I had all that stuff that RJ Barrett is getting? You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm getting at. Miles Bridges talks so much at RJ, bro, when we was there. I thought they was gonna fight, and the reason why is because they clapped for Miles Bridges. But when they said they introduced and they said it just like this, RJ Barrett, just like that in Charlotte, North Carolina.
That's his college. That's his college fans, though. I understand that. That's supposed to happen. They do the same thing in Toronto, though. Real talk. But I think my answer to it, the young guys is just more competitive in the league, and RJ got to earn his respect. Like I do see him play some good games, but he got a lot of work he got to do to get in that class. Like, we talked about the Garlands and those guys made the All-Star, stuff like that. They got them there. You know what I'm saying? And, the team, the situation, so many things that factor into it as well. You know what I mean? So that's why we looked at earlier, are these players on the right path to being at least decent players? And that's what we was talking about too. And that's what I think. As far as that, I can't really say somebody could be an all-star if they're not already showing flashes of it, no matter. You know what I mean? You playing basketball, you got to show flashes. Could he turn it around and fix a lot of things and still become an all-star? I hope so. But as talent is coming in so young nowadays, it's harder for guys to, that's staying in the same position and not elevating their game and not fixing the things that's wrong with their game. Because you got younger kids able to do what you're doing, you know what I mean? Or shoot better than you, or, that's what you up against, you know what I'm saying? So it's got a lot to do with the team, the opportunity, and RJ got that. So he got to make the best of that, but he got a lot of work to do. But I just feel like the reason why they don't respect him because he hasn't really earned his respect yet. And the people that we respect, just as Knicks fans, we do that because we Knicks fans. But when you around the league, you know, the respect isn't really there. You know, even Brunson still got to earn his respect, respectfully.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. It's the funny part. RJ was what, the number one ranked player out of high school, coming into the NBA, the college rank. He was number one to go. Then of course Zion kind of took over, kind of pushed him down, and then of course Ja went too as well. But RJ was always ranked high. Then he comes to New York, get a bag. But then, of course, his offensive game is kind of limited sometimes. So that's why, if I'm in the league, we would say that, okay, RJ is probably the guy we would want to take that shot, because of his inability to kind of create for himself. He's a great, driver. He could get to the rack, draw fouls, as well as his jump shot wasn't as it is now. 2 years ago. So I can definitely see why Anthony stated that. And then of course, all it is just fuel for RJ to kind of get him to where he's averaging 20 points right now. So it's he be right though.
Good point. He averaging 20.
So you, Queen?
I mean, it's hard to know what they're thinking. But for me, I would probably be like, this guy's in New York. He's getting all of these accolades. He got this contract, and his game is not all that, not yet. So I agree with Hartwell. He said it perfectly. He has a lot to prove. Us in New York, we may look at him one way, but these young cats around the league, they looking at him and they like, what have you done? What have you accomplished? You got the extension. They might even be thinking that's a gift, for what he could become. And yes, he's averaging 20 points, but these guys are smart now. They able to see, yeah, you averaging 20 points because you taking so many shots. If I was taking those many shots, I average 20 points too.
And I actually made that point a little bit earlier off air. Or, you know what I mean? Like, I think I agree with all you guys. I think a lot of these young guys, number one, they feel like they're better than RJ, or will be, in the long term. And I think that's why, we hear these things. Him and Barnes have a history of playing against each other throughout high school. I want to say because Barrett actually graduated a year early, which would have made him in the same class, I believe, right? Or closer to the same class. But they played against each other in high school. There's that rivalry. So that may have had something to do with it as well. And the thing with Edwards, I think that's just who he is. I think he talks. It was nothing personal per se about RJ in the sense that it could have been the Charlotte Hornets and he would have said the same thing about whoever he was asked about. You know what I mean? I think he's just a talker, a trash talker, and RJ was just happened to be the one to catch the shots. But it definitely opened my eyes to make me question. We know how we feel about him for the most part. What do his peers feel about him? So I just wanted to propose that question. But yeah, we could get right into the meat and potatoes of the show, which is the trade deadline looming. And I'm gonna start with Mitchell Robinson's injury, and should that make us look into a center, even if maybe we were not trending that direction. I'm gonna lead off this one because I read a report on a center that is available. Should be relatively cheap. Won't cost draft capital and that stuff. I don't want to compare it to the Kemba Walker trade as low risk, high reward but it definitely is a low. It's a lower risk and a good player that we could use right now, and that's Serge Ibaka. He's not playing right now. I believe he's on the Bucks. I
Yeah.
believe the report that I read is, they come to terms that they're gonna look to move him. He's on a veteran minimums contract, so we're talking about I want to say like 3 million. It might be just under 3 million, so it won't cost a lot. As far as the financial, player that we got to bring back, I don't think it will cost more than the second round pick. You know what I mean? A guy who's not being utilized anyway, and he could definitely fill in immediately in the absence of a Mitchell Robinson,
Mhm.
and shore up that defense. Queen, I know you said that's what we need right now, some defense. Um, and can stretch the floor a little bit. You know what I mean? 14-footer. He could shoot the three a little bit. So I think he could fit in immediately. Doesn't hurt us in any aspect of trade draft capital, and it could be a short term move that helps us immediately, because I do believe, contrary to Sherwin's belief, that I understand the value of Mitchell Robinson and how much his absence is gonna hurt us, and I'm worried about it. I ain't gonna lie. Um, when I made those comparisons earlier with Sims, I thought I preferenced he has some ways to go on the defensive end, or at least rim protection. But if I didn't, let me make that clear right now. He is not the rim protector that Mitchell Robinson is. I am very much aware of that. He brings different aspects defensively that Mitch doesn't do as well. But that being said, what's your thoughts on Surge? Um, Cheap move, won't cost much. He could shore up the defense immediately at that center position, and maybe bring a little bit of an aspect that we don't really have at that position.
Tone, you mind if I get at this, or Queen, you want to
Absolutely.
go?
No. Go
Floor's
ahead.
yours.
I'll go ahead.
Yeah,
All
bro.
right, so let's start with Mitch. Mitch is pretty much the valuable player on the Knicks roster due to his defense. Most of our guys, Brunson is pretty much the starter of the defense, or Grimes. If they get beat, you always have Mitch right there, because all the offensive schemes nowadays are literally pick and roll, high pick and roll, high pick and roll. They know the Knicks will somewhat play a drop coverage or won't switch that. So they leave it up to Mitch and his length. Mitch length, he would literally hedge the pick and roll, have his length to able to defend the roller and the point guard coming over. So that's very key. Now with Sims have the athletic ability. He can do the offensive rebounds. He just don't have that length. So that's where that issue occur. But would I go out and get Serge Ibaka? No, because I feel like it's a reason why he's not in that rotation. Don't forget, Serge is viable. Serge can hit the pull-up jump shot. He can play defense. He was Serge Ibaka at a point of time. So why is Milwaukee not playing it? Is he out of rotation? Is it injury? So I don't know why Serge is not, playing. So I wouldn't take that route, because we paid $8 million for 2 years well, 16 million for 2 years with Hartenstein. So just utilize him. He's only getting about 15 minutes. Let's see what he could do in a longer spurt, even though defensively he's a liability. But you stick with that. Everybody else have to play up. I think we need to fill a better role than the center aspect on the defensive end, because I believe we getting killed from the forwards and guards in the league, not the big. So I probably wouldn't make that trade.
I'm gonna go. Well, I was saying earlier, I wouldn't probably pick anybody up, but Serge is probably be a good pickup. I think, just to help us out on defense in the paint without Mitch. And I agree. What like we do need help as far as on the wings to stop, like I said earlier, to stop defense from getting in the paint so easy, even when Mitch come back. So that's part of the problem. But I would bring Serge in. He could stretch the floor and he play defense and we do need some help without Mitch there. So I would consider that. Like that was my whole point earlier. If it makes sense like that, it's nothing crazy. You could get it done. He could be a plug-in piece on this team. He got experience. I like Serge Ibaka.
And $3 million.
Yeah.
I think if he's the Serge, like we're talking about Serge Ibaka, like he's the Serge Ibaka of OKC or the Serge Ibaka of wherever he played after that. If he's that Serge Ibaka, bring him. I just don't think that he is. And I think at 30, I don't know what he is now. If he's not that, I just don't think Tibbs is going to play him. So, so it depends on what's his, how is his back? How is he physically? Can he even do the things he used to do in terms of his skill set? I would love that if he's still that guy. But if he's not, I don't think we're going to play him. And I think we're going to just get more out of Sims. Listen, everybody doesn't have a Mitch back there. You look at some of these teams in the top 10 in defense, everybody doesn't have a Mitch, but somehow they're making it happen. So there's different ways to build a good defense. And so I think Sims is adequate if, to delusional Knicks fans' point, you can shore up our perimeter defense, then Sims would be fine. Well, how can you do that with a Brunson and an RJ in there? I don't know.
Now, by all means, was this suggestion saying this is the fix, and after that we good to go moving forward? So I
just don't know what is he gonna do. He, like delusional Knicks fan says, he's, is he not playing because they have so many bigs, or is he not playing because they don't think he can contribute at this point? They see him in practice.
They got a lot of bigs though.
They got a lot of bigs.
Portis. They got Bobby Portis, Brook Lopez, and other shooters that's linky fours on that team. So I don't know. I can't co-sign him like I was in to see him in the gym shooting, or he still got the same. Right. But I know he still he still got that IQ as a smart. We need players that know how to play especially in reference to what the team is trying to do. What I mean?
By
they
all
trying
means,
to win.
Am I saying he needs to come in and replace Mitchell Robinson? No, I'm saying while Mitchell Robinson is gone, he can fill the role of a defender and a rebounder, and we could still utilize Hartenstein.
Better than Hartenstein right now.
Utilize Sims, but for their strengths rather than just having them in and having no type of replacement for what Mitch does. And at $3 million, if his back is hurt, if he's not the same player, I mean, $3 million in basketball terms, obviously, that's throwaway money. That's sign him, see if it worked. Nope. All right, cut him, eat the $3 million. I don't think it costs a rotational player. So it is something I think that intrigues me.
If I had to vote, I would vote no.
Okay.
What you think, Freeze?
Well, don't forget, Milwaukee was talking about wanting Cam. So if you're saying
that's where I'm going next.
Second round draft pick, then it's just like, all right, we can do a second round. But if you're trying to give up Cam, I don't know.
Right, because I feel like this is the thing. If you're gonna give up Cam for Serge Ibaka,
Cam for Serge? Whoa.
No. I'm just, but that
no,
was
not you, Queen, not you. I'm saying I don't agree.
I'm
with
saying
that. No,
right, I'm saying like then it's more than the $3 million. Now we talking about an asset that we might be able to get,
more for. I mean, we're gonna jump into Cam right now. With the rumors with Cam.
Hey, you mind if I speak to that center thing though?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Let me hear what Freezy thought about that.
Oh, I'm sorry. I swore he went first too. My bad.
No. What I was gonna say is for yeah, man. I ain't trading for ham sandwiches, bro. I can get for him, man. I can sign Dwight Howard for the rest of the year instead of making a move. You know what I'm saying, for him. Or when we look at things in the grand scheme of things, do you really need what Serge Ibaka, what we think he has left in the tank?
Correct.
Because we don't know what he has left in the tank.
Right.
Right. And so I'm going to Milwaukee. I'm like, listen, man, I got a bunch of ham sandwiches over here. You could pick a gourmet one or a gas station one for Serge, but you ain't getting no, you know what I'm saying? I'll give you Svi Mykhailiuk for Serge Ibaka. You know, that's about it.
I thought I
Well,
heard
again,
Grayson was for Cam Reddish.
No, I didn't say
again,
Cameron.
I didn't
No,
put
not
a
you. I'm
player.
saying,
I didn't
thought
put a
that was-
player out there on the table.
Right.
Like I'm saying, at $3 million, it's only gonna cost. Who'd you say? Slade. You know what I mean? It's only gonna cost. Jeffries. You know what I mean? Two of those guys making 1.4 that aren't playing anyway. So again, I was just throwing it out there. It's in the internet.
and Leon Rose's track history track record is he'll probably try to find somebody like a Norvel Pell off the scrap heap anyway. After they make these trades and free up a roster spot, because
waiver wires and all that.
Yeah, they're gonna do a deal where they're gonna jump in and just be a team in a 4-way trade that just shed money. Leon Rose like doing that. So when he do that and show up a roster spot, we'll probably go out and sign.
Hey, you remember how excited some Knicks fans was about
Norvel? Yes.
Another thing out there with the Bucks, yes, they have interest in Cam along with the Lakers, along with the Heat. I'm missing somebody else. But there is a rumor that the Knicks are asking for Grayson Allen. Before the show even started, I had 3 people in the chat talk about, no, I don't want Grayson
Jack
Allen.
Tripper. I call him Jack Tripper. Maybe he was tripping everybody in college.
I believe their salaries match exactly. To me, it's kind of weird that they would be willing to give up a starter. Essentially, he starts for them. For a guy out the rotation. But I'm gonna bring it up to you guys. At this point, honestly, whatever we get for Cam is a plus, because we're not utilizing him. We're not utilizing him under any circumstance. It don't matter who's out, who's injured, who's hurt, who's sick. I mean, if it's 6 people available, and we gotta have 7. We probably get a 2-way player called up before we see Cam again.
We'll play Trevor Keels will play before him.
Say that again.
Trevor Keels will play before him.
Yeah, but that's my point. So I see everybody. I was like, I didn't even say Cam for Serge, but like whatever we're getting, it's a bonus because, I mean, in a sense, because we don't know if we're gonna get somebody who actually plays or just takes his place in such situational spot. But what are you guys' thoughts on Grayson Allen? I know the chat for the most part was like H to the ELL no. But I think he could help.
Yeah, I mean, this is what I'll say. I would love somebody 6'7", 6'8" that plays defense, have a great motor. That's a Tibbs type of guy that we know will get in the rotation. Grayson Allen is 6'4". However, when you think about that second unit, he would take McBride's spot. So it would be, because I've said to myself, do we need another 6'4", do we need another 6'4" guard? But then when you look at that second unit,
hey, Queen B,
quickly,
hold on for a second. Grayson Allen is a starter, right?
Yeah.
I think he's only starting because of injuries.
Yeah, because of injuries, Yes. But he's a rotation player. Middleton is out, so they go back and forth between him and Connaughton.
Because he started 40 games. Would he come here and go to the bench behind Grimes?
Absolutely.
Yes, I believe he would. But listen, I'm not. If Tibbs decides to start him and move Grimes to the bench, I don't have a problem with that. Grimes is still going to get his minutes anyway. So I just think Grimes is a better defender.
Either way, it helps our bench.
Either way, it helps our bench.
Right.
So I think when we talk about the 6'4" guy, because we was talking about Gary Trent, I'm like, where we got enough 6'4" guys? But
Malik Beasley.
Malik Beasley. But
your boy out of nowhere got hurt.
Are you reading my notes?
Right.
Are you reading my notes?
OG is hurt. Oh.
But then when I thought about it, I'm like, okay, basically you're talking about Quickly and whoever that 6'4" person would be, who would be taller than McBride. You know?
Yeah.
So I'm okay with Grayson Allen because Cam is not playing at all.
Yeah.
Cam is not playing at all.
And that's
Grayson Allen is tough. He can shoot. I don't know about his defense though, but I know he's tough.
I
He's
mean,
gonna play better defense than some of our players right now.
Oh, he does? Okay.
He will, because we ain't playing no D.
He has the reputation as a dirty guy, but he's also one of those guys that if he's on your team, you love him. When he's not on your team, you hoping somebody puts him on his butt. You know what I mean? Like, but yeah, I mean, at this point, I don't think any of us should argue what we're getting back for Cam. You know what I mean?
And it's not our choice. We want Cam, but whatever didn't work out with them, you know what I hear people saying like, "Nah, we want Cam, but we can't do nothing about it."
All of us don't want Cam, no.
We can't. I mean, well, the smart fans know we need more wing players, and it's just unfortunate the situation. We feel like we would take something decent back, like Grayson Allen for Cam, that's not being utilized at all. Helps our team. So, like, that's a fact. And I said that earlier. Missing that player is hurting our bench big time.
Yeah, I read somewhere that it would be a steal. Like, basically, the Knicks should not expect to get back an actual player for Cam, let alone a rotation player. So if we can get back a player for Cam or a rotation player for Cam, then that's a
move
big
on
plus.
Yeah,
a big plus. Yeah.
All right. Maybe it's the delusional aspect in me that still believes in Cam just like everybody else, which is why, you still want to hold on. You're hoping that Tibbs get, fired in the next 3 games and we get, one of the bench coaches come in, and then first move is have Cam, come back into that starting lineup or get rotational minutes and showcase himself. That's what I'm hoping for.
It happened before.
So that's why I'm like, do we hold on to him and kind of let him go, or you get that player? I would do that. Grayson Allen, like you said, that would shore up the spot from Deuce, because Deuce is really, that's what he's doing right now. He is dropping a Deuce on the offensive end, and he's kind of holding it a little bit on the defense, but it's not showing anything. So like you said, if we could get some type of production, you do that trade, and that's sad though. Like, we're scraping for something. We're willing to willing to give up a 6'8" guy. We can't really say that has potential because we haven't really seen it so far with any of the things, but he has spurts of games of where he's like, the very first game he dropped 20, hit the 3-pointer to send us an OT. So we like, there's something there. You see him come down on a fast break by himself, do one crossover, and he's at the paint with the layup. We haven't had a player on the Knicks that do that in transition like that. RJ, of course, but he's going to do the 1980s one-hand, left-hand dribble and get to the rack. So it's
but for every time he does that, there's something. So listen, I think Cam can help this particular team right here.
Yeah,
I believe he can. But in terms of, do I believe in Cam's ceiling? Do I believe in Cam actually reaching his ceiling? Do I believe in Cam becoming that player everybody keeps saying he can become? No, I don't. But on this particular team right here, I believe if he was in our rotation, he would help us. But as much as you've seen what he can do, there's just as many possessions opposite of that as well. So I think for us, I'm okay with us moving on if we decide to move on from Cam. But at the same time, I think he can give us something right now. But I'm not banking on Cam becoming that star that he was and still holding out hope. I
think both can be true though, Queen. I think, like you're saying, we theoretically we could utilize him based off of who he is right now. Not even necessarily
correct.
Him reaching his window. I think that's what makes it, so frustrating. Like, I've been holding back, you know what I mean? Because I know what it is. He ain't playing again for us, so I'm not even gonna get myself all hoped up or saving hope. So I feel for you, Delusion. I feel for you, bro.
Because
Because
that
I used to do
Toronto
that. I
game,
used to be that.
that Toronto game was crazy. Everybody on that roster were like 6'9" and up. So they was backing down everybody. RJ got
Minus
back
Fred.
down. Grimes got back down. All they was doing is turning around and hooking. I was just like, that's.
But it's more than height, though. Like we can't sit here and tell us that Cam wouldn't have withered against Toronto either. That Cam wouldn't have turned the ball over with the pressure that they was putting on us. Just because he's 6'8" and they 6'8" doesn't mean it's the same 6'8. Like those guys are aggressive. They're physical. They come at you.
Right.
I'm not saying Cam is soft by any stretch. He'll take it to the basket. He'll absorb the contact, still lay it up. I don't think he's soft, but
I think it was more the matter that they were shooting over us, though. I think that was what he was referencing. Like, anybody could just turn around, shoot over, Grimes quickly, Brunson. You know what I mean? Like, so having his length, it may not have stopped anybody, but it may have made each shot a little bit more difficult. You know what I mean? Like a little bit more difficult to see over the defender. But again, I don't want to talk about that's why
I think he can help us. I think he can help us.
Who you talking about? You talking about Grayson Allen, right? Or you talking about Grayson Allen or Cam?
Cam. This whole conversation was about Cam.
Man, get Cam out of it. Hey, so hey Tony, I texted you something.
Yes.
And Queen, I sent it to you on Twitter.
Oh, right? On Twitter, okay.
And so and Hallwell, I was trying to remember your Twitter handle, bro. I forgot, bro. Forgive me. I'm
It's all right.
I was trying to remember. I was like,
what is my at Hallwell?
At Hallwell. Okay, I'm gonna send it to you right now. I want you to see something.
Okay, no problem.
There are some asterisks to this, though.
Yeah, I know. I just wanted you to see it. I just want you to see it. That way, you'll see what. And so basically, what it is that I sent was a list of the top defenders in the NBA based on defensive rating, and the number one player on that list is Grayson Allen, leading the NBA in defensive rating. Number 8 is Emmanuel Quickly, by the way. Right. But the players with the best defensive rating in the NBA, number 1 is Grayson Allen. So what I'm thinking is the Knicks see this in advanced metrics and the fact that he can shoot the 3 at about a 40% clip, and they want to bring him here to be the starter, right? And move Grimes to the bench. That way they can have a 40% 3-point shooter when teams trap Brunson in the corners or they double team Randall from the weak side. They have a guy like Grayson. Tom Thibodeau won't have to be situational. Like offense,
I can see him knocking it
defense.
down too. For
Yeah.
I can see that.
Yeah, so for those that don't like Grayson Allen because he Jack Tripper,
he was tripping too many people in college. I was like, yo, come on, Jack Tripper.
I know. People not gonna like him because
I like him though. He's cool
for numerous reasons, whether it's because of what he looked like or that he went to Duke or whatever.
I like that he's tough, Freezy. I like the toughness.
But we like to back up our arguments with data, and that's the reason why I sent this thing to Tony. So whatever it is that we talk about, people can understand where we're coming from. That this dude is not just a also ran dude that might be a rotational piece
or just could shoot.
Yeah. This dude legit is a piece to a team that can defend in the playoffs. It's like having a Matisse Thybulle with a jump shot. Or better.
And not only I mean, to me it's mind baffling that I don't know if the Bucks would consider this trade, considering you talking about a guy who you put into your starting lineup. Granted, I guess you can make the argument that we put Cam in our starting lineup, but currently I would just be interested to know what they would be doing with Cam. Is he replacing him in the starting lineup? Is somebody else being elevated and he's coming off the bench? That's what intrigues me. But again, anything we can get, I take, huh?
And Middleton is injured, so he'll probably be.
Yeah, that's true.
They'll probably play Jordan. They'll probably play Jordan Nwora as the starter. bring Cam off the bench, let Cam beat out Nwara.
Cam's gonna play wherever he goes.
Yeah, Cam
A
gonna.
lot of
Yeah,
teams,
Cam's gonna play.
they wondering why we're not playing Cam. Everybody so.
Yeah, because Cam ain't got no
he's
guts,
gonna play.
bro.
He's gonna play. We're gonna see what he do on another team.
So interesting thing about this list, they also had Javon Carter at number 10.
Yeah,
another player off of Milwaukee.
The same team.
My question
Andrew Holiday.
is, how much Holiday's on there?
No, Drew Holiday is an excellent defender, is what I'm saying.
Oh yeah.
But my question would be, how much of that has to do with the surrounding players and the scheme? Like, you would have never guessed if I said, oh, there's a team in the league that has 2 players in the top 10 in defensive rating. Not only, I don't think anybody would have guessed either one of those 2 being the only 2 players.
I would have guessed Drew Holiday, is what I'm saying. If it was the Bucks, I would have guessed it would have been Drew Holiday and not Grayson Allen.
And then the tricky thing
Carter.
is Kevin Love being 4. You know what I mean? So it makes you wonder. You know, be like, where is the loophole in this statistic?
Right. But when I see the names on this list, like Baisley and Mann and Green and Quickly and Brissett and Carter, I think the list is legit. You know what I'm saying? Right. But it's just also full disclosure, it's a list that somebody that was on a Bucks website thingy. So full disclosure, somebody from the Bucks tweeted it out. Mm-hmm. But I had just used the same list last week from NBA.com, and Quickly was 4th, but he slid down to 8th.
Mm. So what are the Bucks trying to? They need more offense. If they trying to,
I mean, the MO is length and defense anyway. I think he as a prototype player, Cam fits perfectly in to that system. Like his length next to Middleton at times. You know what I mean? Next to Giannis, next to Lopez.
They see what we see.
And then a stellar defender in Holiday, who's actually big for the point guard position as well. Now you're talking about a super long, like they just become more long and more athletic.
And the key thing is you can't teach length. And they was patient with Giannis. They probably see a future in Cam.
See, you read my mind. My thing is, I think Grayson Allen is not on the trading block. I think the Bucks see the potential in Cam and are willing to give up Grayson Allen for Cam Reddish. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, like to get it done. Right. Yeah. And then what made me think of it, the other players that they already got on that list, Carter and plus Drew Holiday.
Right.
They could sacrifice losing him to bring in Cam with the length to go with Giannis and for his future upside.
And we may be able to get both those players for Cam. We may be able to get Serge and Grayson Allen for Cam. Y'all think so?
Maybe.
Yeah, that actually was where I was going before y'all started yelling at me saying I'm not trading Cam for Serge Ibaka. I was saying we may be able to kill 2 birds with one.
Nah, I heard you was like, whoa, 3 million. I said 3 million.
But like, I think Cam and Cam matches up perfect with Grayson Allen. I believe salary wise. I'm pretty sure I looked it up earlier. So if we did add Serge to that, now we're talking about adding Deuce and the guy I said his name earlier. The guy who he's under contract, but
it's Svi McCullough.
Nah, the other guy, Jeffries.
Oh, yeah, Jeffries.
We would have
Jeffries
to add
is
those.
on a 2. He's on a 2-way though.
Is he? I thought he got upgraded.
No, he's on a 2-way because we cut Farron Hunt or traded Farron Hunt.
Okay, so then it have to be sleeve SVI that dude. So I mean, it sounds like we all would do it, except for delusion. You want to hold on to Cam, but
I would do it, like you said, if we're eventually still not going to play Cam and coach is still there for the remainder of the season. But yeah, like you said, Grayson Allen is dope, but I'm itching. We go on 2 or 3 more losing streak, and Uncle Wes makes that call. But like, yeah, it's time for Tibbs to go.
Yo, Tibbs ain't playing Cam because Cam played himself.
You think so?
Yes.
Okay. Well, so my perspective on why I felt that Cam wasn't playing, and like I said, I'm delusional on this one, was how they were utilizing Cam. So remember when Grimes were out, we were utilizing Cam as that primary first defender, and he was playing under, which was allowing the guards to attack straight to the paint. You know, Ja blew past him, like all these guards were blowing past him, and I'm like, I wouldn't utilize Cam guarding, you know, point guards, these fast two guards. He's for, you know, the bigger, the threes, the fours on the wing defenders. So, and I guess for him, he was thinking, nah, my length, I could back tap it, I can play under. But Tibbs wants you to be up on that and go over. You see how Grimes, he's going over. So that's what he wanted. So that's why I felt that Tibbs was like, all right, you're not paying attention to my scheme, you out. That's what I ultimately thought it was for that end.
Who is paying?
I mean, what you're saying is definitely true.
It's just
in the way he defends.
We know he could give you that, but it's
and things of that nature. But ultimately, you got to do what the coach wants.
Yeah.
To you know what I mean? Even if your mentality is different, you got to do what the coach wants, and it's tough.
It got that bad where it's like, oh, wow, that's crazy. That's nasty work.
You know,
because we needed that man. We needed him to a point where I felt like it wasn't that bad to where, because you still got to build a value. Like I just saw somebody write that too, and that's true. We got to be careful of, you know, I said that earlier. He's just sitting there, and hopefully they move him because we in need of help and depth for the team. And it don't look right. So we had to deal with not being able to have him as a Knick. A lot of people wanted to see what he could do, the length, all that stuff. We get it, but at the same time, they should move on from it, so we don't have to keep saying, "What about Cam?" And that's the problem that I have with it. You know what I mean? And I feel like I always used to see teams making moves, and that's not making moves. And I think these are the simple moves that, like, you know, you got to make this move, or Fournier sitting there, or Rose sitting there. What's so long? Sometimes we make a mistake, you got to bite the bill and say, I was wrong for that. Now the next move is going to clean that up. But by the time you keep trying to hide the smell of it, now you got a dead body. You know what I'm saying? It
takes two to tangle, though. It takes two to tangle, though.
But
that could be the holdup.
Right, I feel you, but that's even more worse, Queen, though, right? You feel me? Because
man,
that's
the Cam Reddish
where
thing
we
is
got
just
from with
overblown,
the
bro.
Cam.
It's as simple as
because Tibbs didn't want him.
Grayson Allen defensive rating is 100.
Him.
Cam Reddish defensive rating is 115.9. We shouldn't even be talking about Cam Reddish and defense in the same breath, bro. The dude defensive rating based on NBA.com, the dude is 115.9.
Yeah, but Freezy, you just said the Bucks would go for him because it's upside, so it is something there.
Right.
We get what's going on with us. We just trying to say that they should just move on. I understand. They need to get something good back for that because of the whole situation. If
the Bucks want to give us something good for something that
I would
really
do
ain't
it.
no good, I would do it.
But
I'm not trying to play Cam Reddish here when all of our conversations be centered around defense, and this dude has one of the highest defensive ratings in the NBA.
Lowest.
But Delusional just made a great point on how they used Cam, which was a fact too. It's all about how you use the man as well. We do need length. Other teams want him too. He just didn't fit with us. So I'm cool. As long as we get something back worth what we spent on Cam. Every time we got to give a pick to clean up a mess or something, you know what I mean? I don't know.
I don't think we are, though. Like, if we can get back Grayson Allen for Cam Reddish, that's a cool.
That's do it.
Right now, when you look at the rumors, it's like second round picks for Cam Reddish. It's not even about players; it's about second round picks. So if you can actually get,
do you believe that then for Cam for him then straight up?
I would.
No, I'm not saying you would. I'm saying that might not be even true if you saying you saw second round picks.
That's what I'm saying.
But what Grace and Freezy saying his defensive stats
and to be honest, I've seen it go from 2 second rounders to 1. To basically the Knicks will take what they can get. Type scenario.
Whose fault is that?
But at the same time, Unless you're trading him to the Spurs or somebody with cap space, they're gonna have to send back salary. Like it has to match up
Right. It
regardless.
has
So,
to match up
so
regardless. Yeah,
like
that's true.
you know what I mean. I, I got a couple other topics. I wanted to read this from Fansided. According to Doug Smith of Toronto Star, the Raptors have reportedly looking to receive two promising young players on team-friendly deals and a first-round pick for Anunoby. According to ESPN Zach Lowe, the Raptors could ask for a package similar to the Jazz for Donovan Mitchell. So that was prior to the asking price being similar to Donovan Mitchell, and now it's reportedly dropped a little bit.
So that's the second one. The two young
Yes,
players and
two young players.
but what kind of young players? Because I wouldn't mind sending Obi McBride in a first for OG Anunoby, but if they want like, you know,
but they're not on team friendly. But they're not on team friendly deals though.
Well, Cam is.
Cam is going for an extension. You're right. He's up for an extension. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, extension eligible this summer.
Yeah,
right.
You know what I'm saying?
After
They
the
want
season,
like real young dudes, somebody like you just drafted. That they probably gonna have team control over for the next 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
They crazy.
And he's hurt too. He's hurt.
And he's
So,
hurt.
I mean,
Yeah.
I think
No,
I
I'm
think
with you.
well, I don't know if I'm not gonna say I think, but he might not be hurt. Let's say that. It may be you know what I mean? It may be a prevention.
I seen
so
how
he
he
don't
got
get
hurt
hurt.
though. I seen how he got hurt though. When he went
Oh,
out,
did you?
I was because he pulled a hammy. I'm like, I don't know. You know, he get injured a lot, but he'll bounce back.
But
I don't think it's like
I
it's
know
not too
OG
high.
is your guy, Queen.
No. I like him for the right price. If they're talking about
too,
and also I feel like you got to bring your price down because of the injury history.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're talking about a Donovan Mitchell type trade, I'm out. If you're
they
talking
backed
about
off of that.
Facts,
if you're talking about two young players and a first round pick on team friendly, so what are you talking about? You're talking about who do we have like
they
that?
talking about Grimes.
Grimes and who though? Two Grimes and Sims. And the first, who's Sims is only on. He's only locked up for one more year, right? He's on a 2-year.
But Sims is not promising though. Sims is just a young player. and I don't mean that in a disrespectful way. I don't mean that in but you know what I'm saying? Like a team's not going to trade for Jericho Sims. You feel me?
Yeah.
I
don't even think we have two on team friendly deals.
To be honest.
I don't think we have two young players on team friendly deals other than Grimes. Who else? Who would be the other player? IQ and OB are up for extensions. McBride and Sims, like you said, may not be promising, and they're only on 2-year deals.
But because they're up for extension, I look at that as team friendly because now you can negotiate before they become unrestricted or before they even become restricted. So now you could, you know what I mean? Like me personally, I look at that as team friendly with the potential, you know what I mean? Like to become a steal, like depending on how you negotiate with them. Like extension, you know what I mean? I know you're not saying this, but I always got a preference that extension does not always mean max extension. And then max extension does not always mean that's what you're going to get or that's what you're going to, you know what I mean? Like just because someone's eligible for maxes or eligible, that means it still has to be negotiated and middle ground and all that. So it could still.
But are you giving up a player for somebody that's going to sign an extension where if you can't come to terms with them, you potentially lose them?
You lose them, yeah.
You know what I mean?
And I mean,
but in this case, though, they're restricted though
as well. So
yeah,
I take all that into
you can match.
effect. Essentially, when you're not on your way to be unrestricted, to me that means a lot. That restriction in your free agency, that means a lot. That means if the team wants you, they're gonna keep you regardless of whether you want to be there or not. And now you gotta.
But it may not be a team friendly deal depending on what you get in free agency.
True.
So they have to take all of that into consideration, and they may say, "Nah, we don't even want to take that type of risk." You know what I mean? We want two players, and if y'all don't have it, we can get it somewhere. You know, we can get it somewhere else.
But I would definitely join in the conversation in the seeing if we could figure that out. And not only would I do that, I might even do that as a stepping stone into negotiating a smaller deal for Gary Trent Jr. So go in there talking about OG, knowing now I can see what y'all looking for, what your asking price is. All right, now I know where I could start with Gary Trent.
Man, we love 6'4" guards, man. But is Mitchell Robinson a promising young player on a team-friendly contract?
Yeah, I think 15.
Yes,
yeah, 15 million.
Don't try to do it now.
I don't know if I would trade Mitch and Grimes for OG and a first-round pick.
Yeah, that's much too. That's giving up our two best defenders
right. for a dude that can't stay healthy.
For a guy who's gonna come in and probably be our only defender.
Those guys barely beat us, like against the guys we got. Like, I mean, like far as like Gary Trent and them, I mean, like I don't know. I'm not saying that they wouldn't.
But that's a team concept, though. They
he's a free agent in 2 years, right? And
no, I mean, like as far as what type of player they are, he is.
Gary Trent is a free agent this year, I believe. I think that's why they're willing to. I read from Shams, I believe.
Oh yeah, because he's gone. He hitting that.
Yeah,
I would take Gary Trent right now over OG because there isn't the injury history.
Mm-hmm.
He just turned 24 last week. This guy seemed like he's been in the league for 12 years already. He's only 24 years old, so he has the experience. He can defend, he can shoot.
You'll play Gary Trent and Grayson Allen at.
Well,
we're not talking about in conjunction,
right?
No, one or the other.
Right. So we need.
So we keep Cam.
No. Gary Trent is something separate. I'm saying if we were able to negotiate for Gary Trent, something separate, he can play. He can either start and move Grimes to the second unit, or he can go to the or he can be in the second unit. Though I think if you're trading for Gary Trent, Grimes is gone.
Oh, I put him in the second unit and tell him the world is yours.
You're not gonna take somebody like Gary Trent, who's been in the league for as long as he's been, and put him on a second unit behind Grimes, who has barely played a season worth of games, and who's inconsistent offensively. Which I'm not banging on him. That's just part of his process. You know, you're not bringing Gary Trent. No,
he don't start now. He don't got he.
But you know that's my point, Queen. In reference
Gary Trent starts.
Oh, okay.
And that's my point. And that's my point. Even saying you're gonna bring him off the bench, he's not. That's what I'm saying. He don't move the needle enough for me to make me say bring him in. If you even want to bring him off the bench, he started in Toronto. But even when we played him, it's like he hit big shots. I like his game, but it's just another 6'4"
hit us up for 26 points each time.
That boy can shoot.
Gary Trent.
No, but
y'all sleeping on Gary Trent Jr.
The only issue with that is he gonna want money.
You got to pay him.
This is the
money moving forward.
This is the issue. The Knicks have locked themselves into a core of almost $400 million of Randall, RJ, Brunson, and Mitch. Now, you're going to bring in whoever you're going to bring in. You're paying all of this money. At some point, they're going to get over the luxury tax, have to pay taxes on a team that's not even a championship contending team.
Right.
And I think Trent makes 17 million now.
I don't want to see a backcourt with Gary Trent and Brunson.
So if he's looking for a raise,
I don't want to see a backcourt with Gary Trent.
Brunson can defend though. Brunson is a good. Brunson can defend.
He's all right, but I'm just saying him and Gary Trent in the backcourt. I don't know about that. I don't.
Y'all sleeping on Gary Trent. Y'all sleeping.
I like Brunson though.
I like player. He's a two-way player, Gary Trent Jr.
I give him an extra look because you say so.
Yeah, give him an extra look.
All right, let's breeze past these last few. Who we got here?
He ain't a scrub though. I know that for a fact. He ain't a scrub.
We've talked about Levine in nauseum. We've talked about DeMar DeRozan here and there. What are you guys' thoughts on Alex Caruso? He can defend.
Yeah.
would definitely shore up our bench.
Is he a 6'4" guard?
He's another one. Like that's
He's
why
6'4".
he maybe
He's about
6'5" if we lucky, but I think
Right.
he's 6'4" sure. That's why
He would have to play the
when we
one
was
because
on,
you ain't getting a lot of offense out of Caruso. So now Quickly's at the 2 and Caruso's at the 1. You ain't getting a lot of offense out of Caruso.
I mean,
I'm telling you, he was on my fantasy team. You're gonna have lines of 4 points, 6 assists. He's gonna lead the team in probably steals or something like that. He's tough nose. He's a defender. Not getting a lot of points from him.
It's true.
I think again he shores up our bench, and I would like to see him. Actually, I mean,
He
I think
shows up
him
our
and
bench defensively, but when
Huh?
you're not getting any points from him, he's gonna show up our bench defensively. He's gonna play behind Brunson. You're gonna have somebody heady that makes good decisions. That's what you're gonna have. I mean, I like Alex
Yeah, he'll
Caruso.
make.
I just think,
I'll trust his shot more than Deuce at this point.
yeah. Oh, okay, but it's the same thing because he don't shoot him.
He made good
and
decisions.
maybe
He made good decisions though.
he does make good decisions, and maybe that's just what it is on Chicago. Maybe we would, tell him we need you to shoot. We need you to shoot, but
Mhm.
I mean, Caruso.
And I can see him getting some minutes down the stretch at times because of his defense. So I mean,
Not really, because you wouldn't. If you think about it, in our starting unit when Mitch is healthy, right now we have to choose between Grimes and IQ. Both of those guys can't close because if they close, then you got to sit a RJ, you got to sit a Mitch, or you got to sit a Randall. Where would Caruso fit then?
You got to sit Brunson because Brunson's defense is terrible.
It is, but you're not sitting.
No, I'm talking about situationally now. Situationally,
like offense, defense.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. I'm not saying he can't shoot almighty finesse. I'm just saying that's just not his game right now. If you look at him, maybe it'll change with the Knicks. When you look at him in Chicago, he's not scoring a lot of points. He's defending and doing all of those.
Yeah, his game changed after that injury.
Yeah.
Caruso's a glue guy, and you don't bring him in expecting he'll turn your franchise around.
Right.
But the guy that you do bring in to turn your franchise around will get a lot of help from Alex Caruso.
Right.
I like him. I like what he could bring defensively. He is having a bad year offensively, but I don't think that's like his MO.
2 years. It's been like that for 2 years.
And he's a high basketball IQ guy. You know what I mean? Like he's gonna make the right decisions, and sometimes that's more important than you know what I mean. Like sometimes the right decisions will end up in a basket more than just chucking them up
and low IQ basketball players dribbling into traffic. Julius Randle, power forward, leading the break. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. You just can't have it on a championship team. You bring in Alex Caruso immediately when Randle take off. Caruso going to get the ball, a guard leading the break. That way you can have your wing players finishing at the rim as opposed to leading the break and getting a charge where it's now it's a 4-point swing.
Intangibles.
Yeah.
And he realized he on the court with a lot of players that could score. So he just do other things. That's what you need a player like to do.
Right.
Because our problem is we got too many people worried about scoring. We need guys like him that could come in and fit in. Like you said, he would be on the court at the end. I could see that because of his decision making and not think about having to score if that's not what's presenting itself. He would just make the right read, and that's what we need, more guys to do stuff like that.
Man, I had another good one that I really thought fit with us, but I can't find it. Here's one that I'm not too fond of, but it's out there again, so I'm gonna talk about it. The Indiana Pacers have reportedly been leaning towards, I guess, a rebuild for the rest of the season with the injury. I didn't know Halliburton got injured or how severe it was, but apparently he's injured.
But I didn't think it was going to be that long. I thought it was like a week or two.
Again, this is just. I wish I could say who wrote this one, but that was the report I read. So now, they're back to checking the interest on Miles Turner, and this one was a proposed trade. The proposed trade is horrible, but I still want to know, not this trade, but would you trade for Miles Turner or not?
Nah.
Yeah, I don't even want to bring up the trade because the trade is horrible,
unless
and I don't think anybody
unless Mitch
would
is
do this.
included, I don't see those two guys playing together.
True.
Yeah. Did you hear about the Dallas trade? Do you have that on your list where they was talking about bringing back a player we had?
Bullock.
Yeah.
Bullock for Cam is another one I would do.
What?
It was for Cam, right?
It's crazy why you say what like that.
I don't know what player it was. I know it might have been.
It was
I just
Cam.
heard that Dallas.
Yeah, it was
had,
Cam for Bullock.
It was Cam.
No.
Yeah, straight up swap. The only reason, I mean, first it makes sense. It makes sense because he's familiar. He's familiar with the system, with the coaching regime, with the team. You know what I mean? So it makes sense there. And we're not using
with Dallas too. Knicks always doing a move with Dallas,
and we're not playing Cam anyway.
So now we're talking about defense and shooting, even though he's been shooting
take
horrible
Jack Tripper over Bullock,
this year.
though. I ain't going front. I take
who?
Jack Tripper over him.
Grayson Allen.
Yeah, I would too. I would too. But I'm not mad at Bullock. I mean,
me neither.
Bullock.
Yeah.
Only thing about
does he jump back into the starting lineup, or does
I don't think so. But the thing about Bullock is that his 3-point shooting is so streaky. I'm like, oh, we going on this run. We need this timely hoop. Clank.
The good thing about that, Queen, is he's been shooting horrible all year, so he's bound to turn it around soon.
Oh, it's a hit or miss. He might make it. He's that type of player. He might knock it down. But we know he's gonna bring us defense. And remember what we said: we need more defense. We good on the offensive, and like you said, Queen, we need to put more defense in this mix.
Right.
And shout out
I want defense
State.
With the. Go ahead.
And
shout out to State, because last time we had Bullock, we was the almighty fifth seed or fourth seed, whatever seed.
I want defense though with a threat of offense, because I feel like with Sims. And I'm not banging on Sims and McBride. We getting the defense, but there's the threat of offense is just not there. So get us some defensive play with the threat of an offense.
Yeah. Get some stops and can score. It's true. Because it'd be like they be leaving McBride open and he can't make the shot. I'd be like, he's out there for defense though, but we can't keep saying he's gonna keep leaving him open and not gonna make the open shot. So we need some guys that could knock down the shot and bring some defense. If Grimes go to the bench, I think he'll be help the defense coming off the bench as well, because Grimes can't stop these starting shooting guards right now in the NBA. Not yet, at least.
I mean, I think the last few games he's been struggling, but the entire team has been struggling. Before that, you could really see him bothering players. Prior to this little slump the Knicks have been on, you've seen, Grimes getting up into them, bothering them, impacting their shot. But as of late, I agree with you. That impact just hasn't been there.
And it's been a detriment at times. Like the fouling.
On the 3-point shot. But some of those shots, those calls though.
Tibbs took him out and he did not come back in the game.
But I thought that call was a little suspect though.
If I may, about Reggie Bullock, man, Reggie
is
Bullock
like a crazy parent, huh?
Man. Reggie Bullock's defense has fallen off a cliff. It's up. His defensive rating is not even. It's like 115 something. And when you go get a Reggie Bullock, you figure that you can get some level of something from Bullock. Like if his defense is not there, at least his 3 is falling. But this year, Reggie
that
Bullock
don't mean
is
it's
not
gonna be
a
like
3.
that with us. I'm just saying.
His 3 is not there, and his D is not there. And I don't know if bringing a player here to get right is the move. Because we bought Dennis Smith Jr. here to get right, and that didn't work. We bought Cam Reddish here to get right, and that didn't work. And we thinking, I mean, Reggie, but I just,
Again,
I'll
Freezy,
pass
this
on it.
doesn't cost us anything.
It cost us Cam.
Cam is not doing anything, sitting on the bench collecting dust.
And the
So
rumors
my
was
thing
2
is,
picks for Cam, second round picks before they said. So you got to keep that in mind. We got to make up some type of move, decent move for Cam.
I would do the Grayson Allen thing. I go get Jack
Yeah,
Tripper.
I like him.
I go get Jack Tripper first before I go get Reggie Bullock, bro. And then plus
I just
Reggie
wouldn't
Bullock,
put,
he brought Reggie
I
Bullock.
wouldn't be surprised if the organization had to choose, would they not go the Bullock route just
And-
because of the familiarity? Excuse me.
right.
I'm sorry.
You mean like putting the
Okay,
band
right.
back together? Like get
Yeah,
Reggie
yeah.
Bullock.
They
and-
he's been a part of our success in the past, right? You know what I mean? He's familiar with Randall. He's familiar with RJ. He's familiar with Mitch. Hell, he's familiar with Brunson. You know what I mean? So it's like if they're looking at which one is, first of all, if they ask Tibbs is probably gonna go with the familiar face and the guy that he has history with. It was spoken that Tibbs didn't want Bullock to go. He wanted Bullock re-signed. So I could see it happening. I think I would rather Grayson Allen too, just because he's
Yeah, me
younger.
too.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like we could utilize him in more ways. I don't think his shot is gonna fall off a cliff.
Right. He's a shooter. Yeah.
Right.
But if I had to guess, yeah, I think they would do that, especially knowing.
But you got Reggie Bullock has another year after this of $10 million.
But I think next year it's only half of it is guaranteed.
Yeah, it's not.
It might even be like $3 million.
Okay. Well, he could have signed back with the Knicks.
They asked him to wait. They asked him to wait,
Oh.
and he didn't. And he didn't.
Oh, see. Well,
I'm sorry,
There
I'm
you have
laughing at who's this?
What about Burks? I
Yeah.
would bring Burks
He's
back.
the no more 6'4" Glacius.
right. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, like why we in love with 6'4" guards, bro?
Well, that's the question, right? Is what do we need? Do the organization knows what we need? Do Tibbs know what we need? Do the Knicks fans know what we need? That's just ultimately it. Like we see players out there that we see like, yo, this player would be awesome for there, and they nowhere near the Knicks radar. Like, what direction is the organization going? I think that's where we need to really push on Leon, because like you said, we haven't heard from him since the sit down in the off season. And that's it. Like, what are your directions? Like, you got Tibbs that sitting there answering questions, and he's gonna dodge them. Like, what do we want to do? What are we going to do? Is the question. And that seemed to be heard or answered. So, and that's putting everybody in a frenzy, because even the opposing GMs are still trying to figure out, what the Knicks want to do. So that's tough. It's tough.
Hey Queen, you had mentioned something earlier on Freezy's show. When asked about Mitchell Robinson's absence and how important or if it's important, and I think you downplayed it a little bit in the sense of
Mitch absence.
his absence and because I know you have referenced the games prior to his absence where the defense was still lacking, and that we got to adjust with the players that we have.
That was in the context of whether or not we should trade for another big, and I was just saying that we can still make it work with Sims, depending on what we do, with our perimeter defense, because there's a lot of teams in the top 10 that don't have a Mitch, and they still making it work. So that was just until Mitch comes back. I wouldn't trade for another center. I just think that we just we have to do some other things to show up the defense. And I was just pointing out that the defense was slipping even with Mitch there. We'll talk about that on the Queen's Court.
I agree. And Queen, I think I have an answer for it.
Mm-hmm.
The answer for it is get out of this stupid aggressive man aggressive pick and roll coverage sometimes. How about sometimes mix up your defense and play some zone sometimes? Right? Not all the time, Tibbs. Instead of playing it 100% of the time, how about play it 90% of the time and give your players a rest since you're not going to stretch out your rotation? Can we do that?
That would be awesome.
And make teams adjust to that too.
If Tibbs was listening, but Tibbs is gonna do what Tibbs is gonna do. That's part of the problem. Like even with this thing about adjusting without Mitch, it's gonna be tough in my opinion because Tibbs is still gonna prioritize the rim first, and it's always gonna be that. And if we don't have the guys to protect the rim first, I think everything else is gonna kind of spiral out of control. That's the only reason why I feel like even if it's a stopgap. When you said you bring in Dwight Howard, shit. If we can bring in Dwight Howard just for right now, time being, stopgap, because we're gonna need rim protection, or I think we're gonna be on a losing streak.
Right. We only got 34 games left.
While Mitch is gone.
Right. This is what I'll say about the zone, though. This is what I'll say about the zone. People think playing a zone is easy. You still got to be on a string and a zone as well.
Right,
so if you don't have guys that have high defensive IQ or that's moving, that guys are moving in and out, and guys are moving in and out of areas,
right?
It's gonna be the same result.
It's not gonna work. Yeah,
right. But the thing about it is in that zone you're not getting matched up on screens, right? That's one of the things. That's part of the physicality that you take out. That's part of keeping your people straight, basically. You know what I'm saying? I prefer man to man, but what I'm saying is if Tibbs can just do zone 5% of the time, maybe. Give guys a break, because I understand the zone, man, depending on what type of zone you play, whether it's 3-2, 2-3, some type of matchup, whatever zone it is that you play, you still got to be communicating, right? The baseline of the zone got to communicate to everybody, tell everybody what to do, what everybody got to watch out for. You need smart people in the zone, right?
Right.
But Tibbs don't play zone at all.
And you got to move, too. You got to move. If a team can hit 3-pointers.
Instinctual, too.
Right.
It's it's funny.
And that's why Mitch is the backbone. But go ahead.
Our defense, is similar to the zone in a sense. They're sagging off to kind of defend the paint. That's your two players up top, and of course you have the three,
like a man zone,
help coming
like
over,
a man zone.
Right. And we get torched, when a great 3-point shooter comes. So I'm with him, like you said, just switching up. My thing is switch on a pick and roll. Switch on a high pick and roll. Of course, there'll be a mismatch, but you can kind of double up on that mismatch on a smaller to big thing. So just switch that. Like you just said, some type of adjustment will help us, period. And I think the zone can help out as well against a team that's not shooting well, but just switch up something, Tibbs.
And we got too many liabilities on defense, I think, too, as far as in the man-to-man situation. Without Mitch there, dudes is getting blown by. So it's always going to be easy to just swing the ball and make another play if nobody could just stay in front of their man. So that's the real problem at hand, And Tibbs used to say it, that how important Mitch was to that situation. But there's other ways to fix it, like the Queen said. But we got to address that, like with Cam or players that we bring in. We need to bring in defensive guys that could guard the wing, because you can't hide with so many players, bro. And y'all know that. You can't hide. Brunson, RJ, even Randall, sometimes, like, dudes is just on the island. You know what I mean? Because it's not always one person's fault. It could start from one guy not keeping his man in front of him.
Right.
And then it just breaks down the whole defense. You know what I'm saying? Right. And that was the thing. When I play, if I could get by my man, I'm going to kill all game, because they can't stop me. And I'm constantly getting in their paint or constantly got my man turning and giving them trouble. You know what I mean? And
Or
once somebody got
somebody
to
else
come to you,
coming to help.
yeah, then you just and that every game I remember against, even when we played the Nets, when Donovan Mitchell, that's exactly what those stars of that team did. Spider, he just drove and kicked to the open guy. Simple, you know what I mean? And that's the thing. Simple adjustments as far as on the defensive end could change our outlook. We sit here and we look at all these different things. It's common sense. We said it. We're scoring the ball. Nobody's playing defense. We have to
well,
plug
that was
in
so easy, bro.
defense.
That was so easy.
We have
That
to
was so
plug in
easy.
defense.
Donovan
How
Mitchell
much
basically
is
got
that
the
as the
screen.
personnel though?
Huh?
It's Tibbs defense, man. Donovan Mitchell, all he did was get the screen, go if the weak
Yeah.
side, if the
Yup.
weak side defender helped in the paint, he kicked it out to the corner for three.
That's it.
Right? If the weak side defender took away the shot in the corner, Donovan Mitchell was either going to the basket or throwing the lob to the cutter from the strong side.
Mhm.
It's this triangle like thing where Tibbs defense had too many people scrambling. Elite athletes with high IQ take advantage of Tom Thibodeau's defense.
Yeah.
But the fortunate thing is that there aren't that many Donovan Mitchells in the league that can do that to us on a nightly basis. And it's the reason why Tibbs is stubborn in his defensive principles. Because there are not many Chris Pauls, Donovan Mitchells, John Morants out there for you to change your total defensive philosophy.
Good point.
Facts.
Before we get out of here, what do you guys think of the Lakers steal of a trade they pulled off?
Good trade for the Lakers.
Good for the Lakers, right?
Hachi's all right. He's a good player. None been there. He wasn't giving them none. He wasn't
Didn't
giving them none.
Right. And Washington wasn't going to pay Hachi.
Hachi.
Yeah.
I mean, it gives me hope that some good trades might still be out there for us that we could pull off and actually win. Definitively. Immediately.
Can I say something
I
that I wanted to say?
Oh, okay. Oh, my bad, man.
My bad. I wanted to say something in reference to what you were saying, Freezer. It has slipped my mind. But that's the key thing about what good players do. They get their team going to help because they know they're going to need their team to win. We don't really get that as much. Randall is passing the ball, but we need to get that more from like Brunson, and because that's the key part that's taken away. And I know I said that earlier about the defensive side of the ball, but it's also that part of it as well. Those two things are affecting us. Trust me, I truly believe that. You know what I mean? Guys ain't giving the true effort, and that plays a part in the chemistry, the hole in the ball, and it's like now it's my turn when the shots aren't there. You know what I mean? And it looks bad in real time, and it's just not a flow. We was winning and playing good. It wasn't. It was whoever got a good shot should shoot, not go and force the issue. That's what that was the last take I wanted to give on that last.
Y'all think the Lakers? Won that trade?
I think so.
Nah, they gave up picks though, but I know it was none and some picks.
2 second-round picks.
3 second-round picks.
Three second-round picks. Absolutely,
Right.
3 second.
But the issue was salary for Washington. They needed to get off of Hachimura because he was up for an extension this summer, and they weren't going to play him.
I think the Wizards see the Knicks leaking oil, and they think they can catch us. That's what I think it is. I think they shoring up their backcourt. I think they probably got a series. They probably because they're only think about it. When Bradley Beal came back, there was nothing the Knicks can do with the Washington Wizards, bro. They toyed with us Friday night or whatever.
But that wasn't Bill.
No. But
Bill didn't kill us.
No, but what I'm saying is
the system killed us.
Right. What I'm saying is the Wizards
moving the ball.
The Wizards feel like at full strength with a few upgrades, they can catch the Knicks, the Hawks, the Bulls, the Heat. I agree. Because they have Bradley Beal and Porzingis. All they need is like another third person. And there it is.
X.
So you think none Starks and Kuzma and Beal's at the 2?
I think Monty Morris will continue to be the starter for the short term.
Oh, he's good.
Yeah, and then once Monty Morris is because Monty Morris is not a bad guy and he has playoff experience, and Kendrick Nunn is not a bad player. He has experience, right? The Lakers wanted him for a reason because he played them in the finals. You know what I'm saying? So to me, it's one of them. If we are serious about making the playoffs, man, we're gonna have to do something because these teams behind us are gonna try to make these small moves to impact, to basically to upgrade their rosters. And if the Knicks don't do anything, that just lets you know that the Knicks are gonna nick it up.
But they trying, Freezy. They not sitting down on their hands.
No. I ain't saying that. No, I'm saying, but wanting to do something and having the ability to are two different things.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And for those who wanted the Knicks to go after Hachimura, there's no way Washington was trading him to the Knicks in their own division.
And what would we do with Hachimura?
Yeah. Sit him on the bench.
Sit him on the bench. Right next to Cam. Right next to Cam and the ghost of Dennis Smith Jr. They'd be on the bench.
God. Hey, I know everybody know where to find you, Freezy, but let them know where to find you.
So family, y'all can find me on Nothing But Knicks. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the Nothing But Knicks family, man. Shout out to everybody that got their own joints and stuff, man. Dope content. Shout out to the Podfather Sem and everybody. Shout out to Tony Crow for the invitation, bro. I was so excited to see the text. Facts. You know what I'm saying? This morning I was like, yo, my man's is back. Shout out to everybody in the panel, Queen and all, appreciate everybody, you. Right? And so I'm in social media. It's Blawrence Tears, it's Vibes and Stuff. 8:00 in the mornings. Get your day started with Vibes and Stuff. We be on there getting y'all right. Y'all be washing y'all face, getting that coal out your eye. Me and Chuck Allen be joking around. You know what I'm saying? So come check us out on Vibes and Stuff. And that's about it, man.
No doubt. Delusional.
Oh, I
don't know where to find you.
Ladies and gents, I am the Delusional One. You can follow me at Delusional Knick Fan Network on YouTube. Also on Twitter, Delusional Knick Fan. I'm always throwing up some stuff, so come through. Let's chat. Let's have fun. Join the fam.
Appreciate you coming back as well, Freezy. Appreciate you. Hardwell.
No doubt.
Yo, it's your boy Hardwell, aka Will. If you already know, subscribe to my show for the love of the game. Put the number 4 OUR, the love of the game, and subscribe. Come check us out. We on Wednesday. Congratulations to my boy Worldwide L. He just got married, so we not on today.
What?
Congrats.
But we will be on Wednesday and Friday. So come through. Tell L congratulations. If you're not already subscribed, subscribe to the show. Gladly appreciate it. Tony Crow, I appreciate you for having me. Dope show.
Always, bro. Glad you first time here.
Yeah,
come back.
Fun. Yeah, earlier the vibe was crazy. That's why I'm like, nah, they doing it again. I got to pull up. I just been so busy, man. Like you said, for the beginning of the year, trying to get everything in order and stuff. Right. But I'm back outside now, man. So, back outside.
That's what's up. My co-host, the Queen. I know they know where to find you, but let them know anyway.
Yeah, Dope Soul Sports Talk, Dope Soul Knicks Talk. I just spammed the chat with the link. I go on every morning after the Knicks play for the morning recap show, and then Thursday evenings we do the Just Nicking It show. So if you like the vibe, you like what I'm saying, there you can see more of me.
And tonight, 8:30
Queens Court tonight, 8:30 Queens Court. Yep.
On NBK, but Knicks. Shout out to the
Shout out to Sim.
Yeah. Man. Shout out to Sim.
And thank you guys all for joining me to chat. Thank you guys for coming back. I know I had like 10 days off, but when life calls, you gotta take care of life first.
No doubt.
And then come back and take care of you guys as well as always. Until next week, Yo Black is time. Hardwell, if you get the info from Queen, man, I'll be free Wednesday, so I could jump in with you.
Oh, definitely. I'll send it. I'll send it to you. Follow me on Twitter too, Tom. All right.
I'm gonna go in there right now.
Get your number from you. All right, cool.
If he can log in, right? If
I can log in.
If not, I'll send it to Queen. Queen, give Tony my number, please.
Okay.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
and then I'll text you the link, bro.
No doubt.
All right. Nice meeting you, Delusional Nick.
Yeah. And Delusional, you're welcome on the Queen's Court if you available.
Oh no,
Oh.
100%.
we got an
If I
open
got time.
panel
I know
too,
this
so.
week I'm celebrating my wedding anniversary and stuff. So
Oh,
probably
congrats.
take it on. Thank
Congrats.
you.
Congrats, bro.
But yeah,
Congrats. If you get the Knicks cake, I want a slice.
Or at least put a picture on Twitter. At
put a
least.
picture. Right. That's true. That's true.
Fire.
We out of here.
All right,
Blackest
y'all.
time.
Later. Dope show.